welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the channel I'm going to be reviewing an old favorite of mine. I remember seeing this movie when I was very, very young. This is a really funny movie, a very inventive film, a film that mixes comedy, mystery, romance, action. It's kind of an amalgamation of everything, and that is Foul Play with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase, also starring Burgess Meredith, who is so charming in this movie. He plays a great part. And, of course, the late, great Dudley Moore. Dudley Moore steals every scene in this movie, and this is one of the things that helped him kind of catapult his stardom in the U.S. So this is a really fun film. I've always enjoyed it, but today we're going to be talking about the picture quality and the audio quality on this all-new Ultra HD 4K disc here from Kino Lorber. Before I jump into the review here, if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of reviews of 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays, standard Blu-rays, new releases. Sometimes I just talk about physical media in general, but if you're a physical media nut like I am, if your house looks like this, then definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to click the bell icon so we can, notify you of new releases, new videos, and things like that. So for picture quality on Foul Play here, this is an all-new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. Now, I'm not sure if this was done by Paramount or Kino Lorber, but it is a brand new scan. The film itself is presented in Dolby Vision with HDR10 compatibility. So, what did I think of the picture quality of Foul Play here? I was actually kind of impressed and kind of disappointed as well, and I'll explain why. So first and foremost, this has been out on Blu-ray for a few years now. Honestly, this movie went without a Blu-ray release for a very, very long time. Paramount came out with a pretty bare bones Blu-ray, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago. And that copy, that Blu-ray, I should say, you could tell it wasn't really a great transfer on that. It was kind of soft. It really didn't have anything special going on. It almost looked like a slightly upscale DVD. It looked okay, but the picture quality as a whole was really not that great. With this one here now, we have a big uptick in resolution, obviously, going from 1080 to 4K, but you have a big uptick in a lot of other things as well. Detail level on this disc actually was pretty impressive. I really like the look of this film on this 4K disc in certain spots. Again, I'll get to the negatives in a minute. The movie as a whole is much sharper, much easier to see, especially in nighttime scenes. Black levels on this disc are much more improved over any other previous release of this film. That's kind of the biggest two upgrades. In terms of brightness and everything, it's not extremely bright. Dolby Vision does a really great job of kind of evening out the picture. This movie does not have a lot of moments where the film gets extremely bright. There is a really wonderful title sequence at the beginning of the film, and the shots of Goldie Hawn driving along the coastway there, that looked absolutely awesome with the sun in the background kind of setting. It just looked gorgeous. It absolutely looked amazing. That Dolby Vision also does a really great job with colors, and the color reproduction and stuff on this is also really, really impressive. Browns are very deep. Again, this is from 1978, so there's a lot of polyester going on in this movie. Colors are just much more vivid and lifelike than they were before. Skin tones look really, really nice. Everything is just way more accurate than it was. Blues are much deeper. Reds are much more vivid. Everything just kind of looks very, very natural, and colors all around are just a huge improvement over any other previous release. I mentioned detail level and, close-ups of faces and stuff in this film. Again, much more improved. The actual detail level of, well, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of really big sideburns in this movie, as was the style of the time. And Chevy Chase in this movie, I'll tell you, like, he's got a lot of hair going on. And you can really see, like, the detail level is so sharp in certain scenes that you can actually see, like, just how far down those sideburns come. The other thing I'm really glad for in this new 4K transfer is the fact that Kino Lorber did not use a ton of digital noise reduction on this. They left a fine to medium grain in the film, and I'm so glad. I am a very big fan of film grain. When you use tools that completely eliminate film grain, you're really losing a lot of detail level from the picture. And this movie as a whole, it definitely gets pretty grainy in certain scenes. It's not heavy, but like I'd say, it's about a light to a medium. It's never invasive. There are some shots that use some optical zooms and things like that where the grain kind of picks up a little bit, and that's because of how many times they've ran the original negative through a process. So that's gonna pick up film grain in moments like that. So as a whole, I'd say, again, picture quality on this, fairly good. Now, there are some caveats in this version here, and I was actually, quite frankly, kind of disappointed in this. But there is at least one moment in this film, and it doesn't happen, I think, until after like the hour 10 mark or something like that. Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, and Brian Dennehy, who actually plays a smaller role in this movie, still, again, very good, great actor, another awesome actor. But they find themselves in an office, and it's an office with certain other characters in it. And it's a fairly dimly lit office, but that scene, there is one shot in particular that lingers for about 20, 30 seconds maybe, maybe less. But I noticed it, and I'm not one of these guys that pauses movies to see imperfections. I let the movie play. And I think, again, you watch a movie like that. You don't pause a movie unless you're trying to look for something in particular, or I don't do that when I review these films. I just let the movie play and I watch it. That's how I do these reviews. But in this scene in particular, I actually had to rewind it and rewatch a certain part, because that one moment that I was talking about, this one shot in this scene, that just looked absolutely awful. And I almost wonder if, well, it could be one of two things, honestly. But the first thought that I had was the people doing the restoration on this film, or doing the scan or whatever, kind of like went for a smoke break or something during that one shot, and just kind of let the machine run or something. Because the scene looks great. This one shot is way darker and actually has film damage. And I don't mean like minor damage. I mean, there are scratches that come down through almost half of the screen at times. And there's a few of them from what I could see. If I could show you that clip on here on YouTube without getting a copyright strike, I would. But again, if you have this disc and you go to that scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you won't even have to pause it. You'll see it on first shot. And I like to think I'm an eagle-eyed viewer, but you don't even need eagle eyes to notice the drop in quality and the film damage that happens in that moment. And I didn't notice anything else in the rest of the film, but it really kind of shocked me that the rest of the movie looked fairly good, and then that one moment was just jarring to the point where I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, it actually kind of like snapped me out of my movie-going experience for like a split second. It was really weird. And it's not something I've seen happen very often. My theory of, somebody just abandoning ship on the restoration for like 30 seconds, I don't think that's the case. I'm just being funny saying that. I almost wonder if the film negative itself, like the original camera negative that was used, was actually messed up at some point in time, where that one shot actually, like, didn't last or got messed up or something happened to it. Something bad happened to it over the years. So I don't know, but that was one moment in particular that I caught. It's a thing where there is fluctuations with the picture quality. As for audio quality, this comes with 2 audio tracks. It comes with a DTS HD 2.0 track and a 5.1 track. And I watched this with the DTS HD 5.1, and I gotta say, the 5.1 track on this sounded really, really good. The dialogue in the film was crystal clear. The music actually sounded fantastic. The musical score for this was done by Charles Fox, and there's actually a very important Gilbert and Sullivan musical that shows up later in the film. And everything just sounded great. The sound effects were very well placed in the 5.1. There's actually a few really fun action sequences in this film, including a really wild car chase, I guess you could call it. It's not really a chase, but it's a race against time type of thing that happens. And that scene is just wild. And it sounded great, looked great. And I know this may be a shock to some of you, and this probably is going to be the only time, maybe ever, that you'll hear this from me on this channel. But Barry Manilow sounded absolutely fantastic on this disc. Barry Manilow does the theme song to this, and it was awesome. And I think Copacabana comes in there at some point, too, in one scene. So there's a good amount of Manilow in this. And I will say, in the 5.1, it really sounded great. And I like that song, actually. I like both of those songs. It sounded awesome. I really liked the 5.1. It was crystal clear all the way through. And yeah, it's a really solid 5.1 audio track. But if you want the original theatrical audio, which is that 2.0, that is an option as well. And it's actually the default option. So you have to choose the 5.1. That's actually the secondary track on here. So just know that if you get this disc. Now, as for special features, there are actually a few of them on here. There is a feature-length audio commentary by entertainment journalists and authors Brian Reisman and Max Every. They kind of go over a bunch of different things about the making of the film, pre-production, post-production, a lot of different things. They're kind of a wealth of knowledge, and they talk about their enjoyment of the film and stuff as well. So that's on the 4K disc and the standard Blu-ray. That's included there. And on the Blu-ray, there's also an additional featurette that's called Fair Play, Remembering Colin Higgins, who was the writer and director of the film. There's also a couple theatrical trailers and TV and radio spots for the film as well. So nice little collection here. In my opinion, I'd say if you're a fan of this film, then that this one is worth picking up here. As I mentioned, the picture quality on it, very good. In certain spots, not so much. I really wish that, there was a reason for those fluctuations, but I don't know. Sadly, I'm not Kino Lorber or Paramount. But I really love this film. It's a lot of fun. And if you like it, then chances are you'll forgive those little fluctuations and really enjoy this new 4K disc. The audio quality was great. And we finally got a few extra special features on here. So it's nice stuff. Maybe wait for a sale is what I'd say. Maybe wait for a Kino Lorber sale or pick it up on Amazon when it goes on sale. I'll leave a link in the description down below that leads to Amazon so you can keep an eye on the price that way. If you use that link, it does help me out here on the channel. And if you really want to help me out here on the channel, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button if you like the review and you want to see more stuff like this. I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently. I think we hit like 6,700 subscribers the other day, so it's just really awesome, and I cannot thank you enough. I do this because I love movies and I love physical media. So it's not my full-time job. I don't make that much money from this, but I do enjoy doing it, and I love hearing from you. So if you're a fan of this film, definitely make sure to leave a comment down below and tell me your thoughts of this movie, because this is one that I kind of grew up with. I might have been a little too young to see it, but it was PG, so my mom let me watch it type of thing. So, but that's all I have for today. I want to say thank you so much for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Until next time, I wish you guys the very best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.